And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
And we are going to wrap this up, as we always do, with the NFL.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get this thing all the way out to Monday night.
Yep.
Because we got a little intriguing game there. But we got to talk about the local boys here.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about South Central Nebraska, you're talking Kansas City Chiefs.
You're talking the Super Bowl champs back to back,
my gosh.
going for the three-peat.
And Mahomes just doing what he do.
Yeah.
Starting 1-0, looking pretty darn good.
Looking pretty dang good.
It's the other side of this that I think has the intrigue, where they are playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Boy, did they look out of sync. They were underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah.
My guy T. Higgins sat out, and that came up as questionable midweek, and then they decided his hamstring wasn't good enough to go.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs are only a 5.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah, I know. And this is, like you said, pretty intriguing. Obviously, the Bengals hasn't lost all of their, zip or whatever you want to call it, because they're under a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, Joey B has a new do.
He's got the Slim Shady look going on.
Yep.
I assume, Andy, that the Bengals are a lot better than they showed in their opener against the Patriots. With that said, the Bengals still lost.
Yeah.
To the Patriots.
Yeah.
One I thought was going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, Andy.
Yeah.
The Bengals are also dealing with the Chase drama, and Higgins remains questionable, like you said.
Yep.
The Chiefs right now have far fewer questions, and they've had extra time to prepare for this game, obviously playing on Thursday last week.
Right.
And the Chiefs have also covered in each of their last 7 games going back to last year's playoffs, Andy.
Yeah.
The Bengals have some showing and proving to do before I lay money on them. It's under a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I like the home team to win by a touchdown as well, at least by 6. And right now you get that hook at 5.5. I like the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just looking at the running backs. I love Isaiah Pacheco.
No doubt.
Versus Zach Moss. I think that's a huge advantage.
No doubt.
When you're talking about injuries, Hollywood Brown is out, but guess what? The Chiefs figured out.
They still have it. They still have their position. That rookie is the fastest thing that I've ever. He's so fast. Obviously, they brought in their hands guy, Juju Smith-Schuster, to fill in that slot.
Yep.
Obviously, he's good. And I think Travis Kelce only had like 3 catches last week.
That's not going to happen all the time.
That's not going to happen. Sorry, boys. They are trying to get those other tight ends.
Yep.
Into the works, so they're good to go. But, Kelsey's still going to get his. So this is going to be a lot of fun, Andy. The Chiefs have won each of their last 11 games at Arrowhead when playing with the rest advantage. Yeah. Andy Reid knows how to do this.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
And that was a fantastic game against Baltimore. Went right down to the wire. Won by a toe, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, when Harbaugh was go for two. I mean, that looked like high drama. Like it was going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're going to try and steal one in Kansas City. Would have covered. Yeah, but it went the other way.
It went the other way. You got that one.
That's how close it is, folks. But what I was getting at is, they're playing a primetime opponent in a primetime type of game setting where you really saw both teams perform, and the Bengals were on the other side of that. 2 very underwhelming teams, and kind of a snoozer of a game. New England stumbles into an early season victory, 16-10.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do I need to see to say Kansas City once again?
Yeah, exactly, Andy. And the Kansas City defense is a lot better than the Patriots defense.
Yes, that defense.
Pass rush is going to be awesome. Looks like their coverage is pretty dang good. Yeah. Give me Kansas City. I wouldn't even. I don't want to say that they're going to beat them by 7 or more, but I do believe that it would be good if it got up to 7.
What about this total of 47.5?
I mean, you would think that both these teams, with the amount of playmakers that they have, should get the over. I would go with the over. Give me the over as well.
Okay, we're going to go with the over there.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Sunday night.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears.
The Bears. 1-0, baby.
They're undefeated.
But
they're going to Houston. They're taking on a very talented young squad. The Texans are also 1-0. C.J. Stroud picked up right where he left off, chucking the ball all around the yard. They are your 6-point favorite on most books. I'm seeing the 6.5 at FanDuel here, but Caesars Bet MGM has them at 6. This line, at one time was at 3.5.
Yeah.
But I agree with the movement.
I love this under a touchdown, Andy.
Yeah, I was so underwhelmed with Chicago's offense. Caleb Williams looked like
he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
He looked okay in the preseason.
He did,
but no, man, it was moving a little too fast for him, I thought.
Yeah, I think so too, Andy. And as long as this is under a touchdown, I love this line. One of my favorite plays. It's going in my parlay at the end of this segment, so stick around for that. But yeah, I'm on the Texans here, Andy. The Bears managed to get the win, but I think the game was more about the Titans shooting themselves in the foot in that game and giving it away. If that's how Caleb Williams is going to play, like we just said, over the course of this season, the Bears are going to be in trouble long term.
Yeah, and I don't care how good their defense is. When they're going up against Joe Mixon, who had 159 yards rushing.
Exactly.
Nico Collins had over 100 yards receiving.
Stephon Diggs has 2 touchdowns.
Stephon Diggs, you were mentioning him in the preseason. He was getting in Stroud's ear. Well, I guess it's paid off early for him.
Paid off early.
Stroud threw for over 230 yards once again. No picks, 2 touchdowns, where Caleb Williams was sub 100. I mean, threw for 93 yards. No picks. But that just sounds like that's a Chicago fan right there. Hey, our quarterback didn't throw a pick.
Exactly.
Hey, we're happy.
He's the best quarterback we've ever had. No, Houston's a far better team here. The fact that this line is below touchdown is very surprising to me.
Yeah.
Give me Houston big. Give me that 6 points. That is freaking easy. Going in the parlay, people.
It's going in the parlay. What about that total at 45.5?
I think it's probably the under, Andy?
I would think the under.
Because I think they're just Houston's probably going to win this game like 35 to.
Yeah, I just don't have any confidence in Chicago's offense yet. I really don't, and I'm not trying to wholesale Caleb Williams early on here and bury him before he gets started.
Yeah, for sure not.
No, he's a rookie, right? Yeah. Like you said, he's a rookie. He's got to grow into this.
Yeah,
and I like Joe Mixon. I already mentioned him a lot more than I like DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. DJ Moore's a talented receiver. I like the guy.
No doubt.
But we've seen a lot more from the Houston Texans receiving corps.
No doubt.
Last year bleeding into this year.
They could put up the major points in this. The Texans really could to get this over. I just don't like it when you don't have 2 offenses reaching out to get that over.
Yeah.
So I might sidestep that one. I might sidestep that one. But if I had to lean, I would lean on the under.
All right, let's move on to Monday.
Yeah, all my rowdy friends.
Oh, a couple of birds squaring off here. The Atlanta Falcons.
Dirty birds.
Heading on up to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are 1-0. They're looking okay. Coming out of Philly, you hear all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, they love their team, but they hate their players.
Crazy.
Is how I've heard it put. I kind of agree with that. Falcons, oh, man, did they look sluggish. Their offense had a hiccup, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that a nice way to put it? Their offense had some hiccups there in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way that Kirk Cousins is going to play like this moving forward, the Falcons are cooked. Yeah. Like the kids say, Andy, and a lot of people were saying the best rookie, the best outlook for a rookie quarterback this week was Michael Penix Jr. with the way that Kirk Cousins played. He's gonna get some play, but no, I believe that was a little rust for Kirk Cousins coming off the injury, all that kind of stuff. I think he bounces back in a big way here, Andy, I like the points with Atlanta, especially if it's at a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm looking at 6.5 right now. If you
can get to that 7 points, I feel a lot better at it. But I might even throw some money on the Falcons here, Andy, for that money line. I love the Falcons to bounce back in a big way. The Eagles are 1-7-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. The Eagles are also 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10 games when they're favored of 7 or more points, which I believe it's going to get to by Monday night. A lot of people are just in their minds right now that the Falcons are very, very bad. And week 1.
It was week 1 with all new parts.
With all new parts, brand new quarterback coming off injury. I think give me a free touchdown on Monday night with Kirk. He's done it before. Give it to me.
And Kirk has also had snoozers. You know what I mean? And maybe that was what happened last week. And everybody wants to talk about Cousins' 2 interceptions. Well, guess who else threw 2 interceptions last week?
Mr. Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, man. And he was already getting in his people's ear about it and looked like a little not fun on the Eagle sideline, and they won. And
they won, and he was still catching. Like I said, it's just bizarre how amped up things are in Philadelphia. Now, Saquon Barkley made me look a little silly because I said stay away from him fantasy football-wise. Don't draft the guy. But guess what? It was week 1.
Week 1.
Okay, it's only week 1. I mean, I was talking about being injury-prone and things like that, and we don't hope for injuries, but he did look the part in week 1. Over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Looked like an early version of himself out of New York. And if they get that train rolling again, of course, the Eagles are looking good. But
of course,
I liked Bijan Robinson on the other side.
No doubt.
I really like what I saw from Bijan Robinson, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. There's a lot of paths you can draw here for Atlanta to pull this one off, to
at least cover. To at least cover.
I like the cover. What about that total? I'm looking at a square 47 consensus.
Yeah,
line.
I think this gets over, Andy, especially if the Falcons play like I think they can play. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shootout, and I think the Falcons can push it over.
All right. That's a 50-50 bet right now. The 51% of public money is going in on the under.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, the point spread, 81% of your money is being poured in on Atlanta covering this. So a lot of folks feel the same way you do, that Atlanta will have a bounce back game, and maybe
the Eagles look sluggish.
They look sluggish and may be fortunate to win that week 1.
I agree. That's the way that I'm on it.
All righty, Mr. Parlay Pounder. I know you got that parlay play.
I do. There are a lot of good lines out there this week, but 3 that really caught my eye, Andy, is Tampa Bay with a plus 7.5 going into the Lions.
Baker,
probably my most controversial pick in this 3, but Baker balled out last week, and the Lions got by the skin of their teeth. Yep. I really believe in Baker. I really believe in that Bucs team. Getting over a touchdown, I believe it's a really, really good play. Los Angeles Chargers -6.
Yeah.
Only thing you got to say is they're playing the Carolina Panthers, worst team in the league. We're not going to get a win this year. If we get one, it's going to be in a divisional rival. It's very bad outlook for my Carolina Panthers. That's all you got to say about the Chargers. They look good. They did look good. John's got them going in the right direction, obviously. And then to wrap it up, I'm getting the Houston Texans at a -6 right now against the Chicago Bears. I just believe it should be very inflated over that. So if you can get those in early, those lines are going to be there. Putting $25 on this, Andy, to receive $150. I'll run through them again. Tampa Bay plus 7.5, Los Angeles Chargers -6, Houston Texans -6.
You know, I'd usually beat you up when you go against my Bears like that, but I can't even argue that.
I'm going against the Bears and the Panthers, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. You bet with your wallet, right? Your head, not your heart. Okay. Well, that'll about do it for us this week. Be sure to follow us on ESPN Tri-City Radio and their Facebook page. We're also over on X, formerly known as Twitter. And if you haven't already, please think about giving us a look-see on YouTube and give us a subscribe.
Subscribe, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff on YouTube, please.
We got those YouTube shorts. We got feature-length videos.
Yes.
Getting some traction there. And you're holding down the old TikTok, right?
Of course, at WTL Sports Betting on TikTok, putting out parlays and big picks over the weekend. Make sure you check us out.
There you go. For Jabron, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.